is up? Welcome to the DFS Soccer Picks and Bet Show. My name is Ethan Kershaw, DFS Soccer Analyst, and today we're going to be chatting about a two-game slate over on DraftKings for Champions League Soccer. The first game that we have is going to be Bayern Munich and PSG, and then the other game is going to be Chelsea versus FC Porto. But before we dive into the video, make sure to like the video and also subscribe to the Mayo Media Network. And also make sure to subscribe to Daily Fantasy Sports Picks and Bets, The Mix, wherever you get your podcasts from. And then go ahead and leave a 5-star review on that pod. Also, you can head on over to Twitter and follow me at Ethan Kershaw 9. I'll be hitting you all up with various DFS soccer updates over there to help you all make some money. So let's go ahead and jump into the slate. I'm going to be talking about the forwards and then the midfielders and then some defenders that you can use on your slates this week to win some money. First, let's go ahead and chat about the forwards. Up top, first of all, we have Neymar. He's the highest priced player on this slate, but I really like him. He's 10.7K, but he's been taking all of the free kicks, the penalties, and the corner kicks when he's healthy for PSG. Now, keep in mind, he didn't play either of the two games against Barcelona, but he will be playing this game. He looks healthy. Last domestic game that they had against Lille, he actually looked like the sharpest player on the field. Yes, even sharper than Kylian Mbappe. But the thing I really like about Neymar is his involvement overall with the team. I mean, the last 3 Champions League games that he has played, he's had 6 goals, a total of 13 shots, 9 total crosses, and 18 fouls drawn, while averaging 38.4 fantasy points per game, which is a massive amount. I think this week he's a guy that you need to have in your lineup and somebody that you're going to be able to build your lineup around. Now the next forward takes us to his partner in crime, Kylian Mbappe at 9.6K. Now I really like Kylian Mbappe every week. However, not as much as I love someone like Neymar this week, just because I think Neymar is going to take away from the ability of Mbappe to generate points from things like penalties and things like free kicks. However, I still really love Kylian Mbappe. He's going to be playing on likely the left side of the field for PSG, which is matched up on the right back for Bayern Munich. And on that right side, they're likely to start Benjamin Pavard at right back, who is a great player in his own right. However, he's not as quick as Kylian Mbappe. And so I think Mbappe has a lot of ability to burn Pavard on that left side, getting involved with crosses, assists, goals. Hopefully, this should really be a high-scoring game, and so I expect plenty involvement out of these two strikers up top of Neymar and Mbappe. Also, a really nice thing that I like about Mbappe is that as well in his last 3 Champions League games, a total of 6 goals, 15 total shots, and 8 fouls drawn. And kind of like Neymar, he's been averaging 37.3 points per game. So if you have these two in your lineups, you're going to be getting a lot of points. Now we're going to look at some other players that maybe if you don't want to spend up too much, you can pay down and get great value still. So the first player that we're going to look at is going to be Olivier Giroud for Chelsea at 7.5K. Now I add Olivier Giroud into this video along with Timo Werner. It's unsure who's going to be starting this game. Timo Werner has been starting the last couple ones. But if Giroud gets the start, I really like him at this cheaper price. Olivier Giroud has had 5 goals in his last 2 games that he has started. Now, if it is Werner, I've kind of combined the stats for Giroud and Werner so we can see how effective the striker is for Chelsea. So Giroud and Werner average just over 3 shots a game each when they're starting at that striker position. Something very important to get involved with that striker position. Another thing I like about the striker position for Chelsea is that Porto goalkeepers have had to make the 3rd most amount of saves in this tournament this year, which means the back line's been very shaky, allowed a lot of opportunities. I think Giroud or Timo Werner can be a huge benefactor of these errors and mistakes. Also, 3 goals were allowed in the last game against Porto, Juventus having scored those goals. Juventus, obviously we know they ended up losing to Porto in the entire leg scheme of this matchup. And so I think that Chelsea can get some goals in this game early, and I expect them to do just that. Looking down here at another option that we have, it's actually a very cheap option at striker, but it's going to be Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. Mouthful of words, but at 6.7K is going to give you a bang for your buck. He's going to be replacing Lewandowski. Robert Lewandowski has actually picked up an injury, will not be playing in this game, which is huge for Bayern Munich. Really gives PSG a good chance in this game. But Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, he's no scrub. He's had very good games in the Champions League. In his last Champions League start that he played, he scored while also scoring the last game against Lazio off the bench. So he's very possible and very live to get a goal in this game or an assist. You know he's going to be involved up top. He's playing in the same position as Lewandowski. And in Bayern's system, each player really knows where the other one is. And so I think it gives him a great chance of adding value and adding points to your lineup. Also, another thing about him, because Lewandowski's injured and he's filling in for him, I think he's got an awesome chance to play the full 90 minutes of this game. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the midfielders now. My favorite midfield play here is going to be Joshua Kimmich at 6.9K. Actually, the cheapest midfield play that I have listed here amongst all the other midfielders. But Kimmich, I'm not sure why he's so cheap. I get it, Lewandowski's out of the lineup and not going to be scoring goals where a lot of assists had come from Kimmich. But I still think he's got a fantastic opportunity to get assists, move forward in the attack. He's going to be taking corners for the team and very involved with the free kicks for the team still. And he's also averaging a total of about 5 crosses per game in this entire tournament, with at least 1 shot in every game and 3 assists in the last 5 games. Just because of his involvement with the crosses, crosses get you a lot of points in DK scoring. And so I think that with him moving forward often and getting those opportunities into the box, he's got a fantastic chance to again, add a lot of points to your team. There was a while where he was averaging a total of 22 points. In the last 2 games, he's kind of tapered off with 6 points and 10 points in the last 2 games. But I still think at a value spot at 6.9K, he's a fantastic play, especially because Bayern Munich are favorites to win this game. Also, another midfield play that I really like over on the side for Chelsea is Hakim Ziyech at 8.3K. Now, Ziyech's a bit of a tough one. I'm not 100% sure he's going to start this game, but the last domestic game in the Premier League for Chelsea, the manager Thomas Tuchel gave him the start in that last game, and they had a lot of success in that game against Sheffield United. He scored in that game off the bench, but in the last game against West Brom, we know it was kind of a disaster for Chelsea. To be fair to them, they did have a red card pretty early and were down to 10 men for the entire game, which really hurt Ziyech's opportunity of creating chances in that game. But I think in this game, he's really going to have a lot of opportunity. He's looked fantastic in the games that he's played in the Premier League, and then he's also had 2 goals in 3 Champions League starts and averaging 3 shots and 3 crosses in those games. He's likely going to be playing at a center attacking midfield position right behind the aforementioned Timo Werner or Olivier Giroud. And so that's the reason I really like him, especially because Chelsea are favorites in this game. He's got an awesome chance to get an assist or maybe even a goal moving forward in the attack. And let's go ahead and jump now to our next midfield play. I actually really love Leroy Sané for Bayern Munich. I was kind of parsing through the midfield plays for Bayern Munich, and you've got Kingsley Coman. Serge Gnabry is actually not going to play in this game. He actually contracted COVID, so he won't be in this game. So it looks like Leroy Sané will be getting the start in this game, very likely. If he's not starting, you can go ahead and switch over to Kingsley Coman. But I really like Sané just because he's had 3 goals in 6 Champions League games. So right around every other game, he's going to get you a goal. Also a total of 10 shots through the last 2 games with 2 crosses in each. He's likely going to be playing on the right mid or right wing side of the field. And I think that's a fantastic place to play, especially because on that side of the field, he's going to be matched up against Abdou Diallo, who I'm going to talk a little bit about later for PSG at left back. And Diallo is a great player, but obviously not as great as Leroy Sané. And so I think Sané's got an awesome opportunity to kind of pick apart that side of the defense. Great opportunity to get an assist or even a goal in this game. Also, another thing, he's probably going to play a full 90 minutes. Very low chance of being subbed out in this game. Just another reason why I love him at that 8K price. All right, now moving on to the defenders. Looking at the slate, I really wanted to pay down for defenders this week. There are awesome options at the top. The middle's not so great. But I think that the value that these bottom low-end defenders are able or potentially able to return to you are pretty close or equivalent to some of those higher-end plays on the slate. And so if you want to go with higher-end plays like Marcos Alonso or Reece James for Chelsea, I think those are fantastic options. But for me, I'm just paying down and trying to add value for the defenders this week, playing higher price midfielders and forwards this week. I'm trying to get more goals and assists that way. So the defenders we're looking at, as I talked about, Abdou Diallo for PSG. He's at 2.8K, very cheap price. And with Livin Kurzawa and Juan Bernat not playing in the game at left back, he's got an awesome chance to start this game and play the full 90 minutes at that position. And also he had an assist and 3 crosses on that left side in the last game that he played over 45 minutes. So seeing that he's got a great chance to go the full 90, I think he's got an awesome chance to have a couple of crosses in the game, playing at that left side position, maybe even an assist as well like he has done in the past. And the last defender that I kind of wanted to talk about with you all today was going to be Pepe at 2.5K. Now, Pepe, very cheap. I understand lowest possible price you could pay for a defender. And this is really a piece to just put into your lineups if you're needing to find just somebody to get in there to pay up somewhere else at forward or midfielder. But give him credit. He has played a full 90 minutes every single game this tournament. And he's won at least 1 tackle and drawn at least 1 foul in the last 3 games. It's kind of given him a nice floor, and he's averaged 4.7 points and fantasy points in the last 3 Champions League games. Because of that fantastic floor, really just like 5 points. Obviously, he's got upside to do a little bit more, but I think he's a fantastic just plug-and-play 2.5K cheap option for defense. Now, looking at the last option that we have today, we're going to be talking about the goalkeeper, and I'm looking at the goalkeepers on this slate. I don't really see a bright future for any of them except for Edouard Mendy, the Chelsea goalkeeper at 5.5K. I know he's a little more expensive, but he's definitely going to be worth it. He's only allowed 1 goal the entire tournament with 19 saves in the entire tournament as well. He's actually tied for most shutouts with Ederson of Man City, who after the game today, Borussia Dortmund scored a goal. So if he's able to keep a clean sheet in this game, he will have the most clean sheets of any goalkeeper in the Champions League. He's averaging 15 points for fantasy in the last 6 games. Another bonus as well, Mehdi Taremi, the striker for FC Porto, is going to be suspended for this game, and he actually scored a goal in the first leg of their game against Juventus. So take away a little bit of the scoring from Porto, strengthen up that defense for Chelsea. He's got a fantastic chance to get another shutout with another win in this game and get another point total of somewhere over 10 points. Great value for your team. So looking at him, that is the last pick and option that I really have for you today for the players. But jumping now into the bets, I'm looking at the PSG and Bayern game. I've kind of been looking at the odds there. I'm not really in love with any one specific bet. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this game and a lot of opportunities, just because when you have players like Mbappe and Neymar and Sané and Thomas Muller in at the attack on both sides, I think both sides are actually very live to score goals in this game. So I'm kind of staying away from that game. But in the other game, Chelsea and Porto, I really feel good about Chelsea's defense. They have not been allowing a ton of goals, been very, very strong on the defensive end. And Porto, while they have been fantastic and playing against Juventus, I really got the feeling that Juventus wasn't super strong this tournament. I think Chelsea has a great chance to beat them. So looking at some bets, I was able to find that if you predict the correct score at 2-0, you can actually get that at plus 650. And then 3-0 is at plus 1200. I think Chelsea's very live to win this game 2-0 or 3-0. Take your pick. And then also another option that you can bet as well is Chelsea to win both halves at plus 430, which I think is a fantastic option as well. But my favorite one, not as such high value, but Chelsea to win to nil is at plus 163. That means Chelsea keeping a shutout, which, like I said, is a very likely thing with Edouard Mendy in goal. So just a quick reminder to go ahead and smash the like button on this video and go ahead and subscribe to Mayo Media Network. Fantastic channel. They're putting out some awesome content. Highly recommend you go and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a 5-star review on the audio podcast, and then head on over to Twitter and follow me at Ethan Kershaw 9, where I can help you out with your soccer lineups. Good luck this week, though, with your DFS soccer contest for Champions League. I hope you all win some money, win some cash. Thank you all for your time, and have a fantastic week.